Hey everybody, it's me, Kamau Bell. Welcome to the very first episode of my brand new podcast, Who's With Me? The podcast is based on my Substack, Who's With Me? It's also the name of my stand-up comedy tour, Who's With Me? That's the most important question I think we can ask each other these days before we get into what we disagree about or how we can even build together. First of all, are you with me? If you are, we can work on some of the things we may not agree with or some of the things that are more nuanced, but are you just generally with me on the correct side of history? Are you down for the people? Are you down for the struggle? Are you down for the people who don't look like you, have a different religion from you, maybe have a different lifestyle from you, maybe have a different sexuality or gender expression than you? Are you down for those people? Are you pro Black Lives Matter? Do you listen to Black women? Are you against anti-Semitism? Are you also down for free Palestine? Are you down for immigrants' rights? Are you pro-immigration? Do you say fuck ICE? What else? Are you anti-fascist? Do you think that we should give the land back to Native Americans? And some of those you'll be like, I'm down with 8 of those, but not that one. Hey, we're just figuring it out. If you're generally down with that area of down with the people, down for the struggle, down to stand up against our fascist government, Trump, then you're with me. Also, do you want to laugh and have a good time while you're standing up to the man? Then you're with me. Did some of the things I say sort of scare you a little bit? Like, hey, that's okay. Don't be scared. Just sit down. Listen, we'll talk it through. I'm recording this in San Diego. I'm actually here for my Who's With Me stand-up comedy tour. Because I'm a person who is on the road a lot, this podcast will take place in a lot of different places, a lot of different ways. So right now I'm in San Diego, got a show tonight at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. That means nothing to you because by the time you hear this, I will have done the show. It was great. It was awesome. We had a great time. Every show was sold out. They're not sold out. Anyway, that's not important. Welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is the actor Delroy Lindo. He's Academy Award nominated, should have won, for the movie Sinners, Ryan Coogler's magnum opus. Delroy lives in Oakland, California, just like I do. I found that out a few years ago that he lived there. It's not a thing that was common knowledge up until recently, I don't think. I found out because at one point I lived sort of adjacent to the neighborhood he lived in. And then when I go to the farmer's market, a lot of white people would be like, oh, of course you know Delroy Lindo lives here. Or, oh, Delroy lives here. You two must be friends. I didn't know him. We weren't friends. I'm not in the same lane of show business as Delroy Lindo is in. Let me say, I'm in this lane of show business. Delroy Lindo's in this lane of show business. Yes, it's actually, that's what the deal is. But we did end up meeting through a mutual friend. We'll tell the story in the podcast. Delroy Lindo's incredible. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. First, I want to introduce myself to you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Most people know me from my CNN show, United Shades of America, that ran for 7 seasons, won 3 Emmys. I traveled around the country talking to people about all sorts of issues, generally race, racism, culture, American capitalism, fascism, sometimes food. And other people may know me from my ubiquitous ACLU commercials that air all the time on MS Now, formerly known as MSNBC. People actually think I work on MS Now because those commercials air so often. I don't. Those commercials are on MS Now way more often than I am. But you should know also that I have worked with the ACLU for over 10 years now. I'm their artist ambassador for racial justice. Also, I was the host of their podcast at Liberty up until very recently. And I try to do everything I can for the ACLU whenever I can. Check out the ACLU. Have you heard of the ACLU? That's the thing about this podcast. We're going to talk about ways you can help. You've probably heard of the ACLU. We'll talk about ways that you may not know about over the course of this podcast. Other people may know me from stand-up comedy. Like I said, I'm on the road right now. I got a Netflix special called Private School Negro, came out in 2018. I had a Showtime special called Semi-Prominent Negro. I think that came out in 2016. I don't even know if you can find it anymore. It was pretty good. I'm on the road right now doing stand-up comedy. So that's where all of this career started, was me as a stand-up comedian. And now here I am in all sorts of different areas because I'm just a curious person. Where else might you know me from? Oh, also, you might know me from podcasting. I've had many podcasts. I've had many lives in podcasting, starting back in the day with a podcast called Siskel and Negro with my good friend Kevin Avery, who will appear in an upcoming episode of this podcast. Then I also had a podcast called Politically Reactive with my friend Hari Kondabolu, who I assume will appear in an episode at some point because he'll demand it. And me and Kevin Avery also had a podcast named Denzel Washington is the Greatest Actor of All Time, period. I know there's some Denzels out there who've been waiting for that to come back. You might hear about that podcast in this episode. Actually, you will. Me and Delroy weirdly talk about it. I didn't plan on it, but it came up. Oh, I also had a podcast with one of my good friends, one of my absolute heroes, Living Color founder and lead guitar player, Vernon Reid. We had a podcast called The Field Negro Guide to Arts and Culture. like I said, that podcast was so early days of podcasting. We would record on laptops over Skype, and the connections were always bad, and one of us would always drop the call. It was early days, but that's another thing you should know about me. I'm a kid from the 90s, and I'm also a blurred from the 90s. So my favorite bands are Living Colour, Fishbone, Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, System of a Down. I can keep going. But anyway, specifically Living Colour and Fishbone are my guys. Those are my guys. Actually, the song you hear in this podcast is by one of the founders of Fishbone, Chris Dowd, called Don't Give Up on Yourself, which is a message we need to hear as also we find out who's with me. You should also know about me that I'm an only child. I think that's one of my main definers, like black man with the heart of an only child. Is that a thing? I think that's how I really see the world, which is why I'm sort of curious and go to lots of different places, because I had one of those things called a black mom. For people listening, I just showed my T-shirt that says "Made with the love, strength, and resilience of my mom." Mahogany Mommies. You can get that on the website. My first ad. Anyway, so I had a black mom who let me do whatever I wanted to do. So I just sort of have been in a lot of areas. So even though my career started out in stand-up comedy, I have gone lots of different places. Like some of you may know me from being a documentary filmmaker. I had an HBO doc named 1000% Me Growing Up Mixed. That was about mixed children in the Bay Area, talking about their lives as mixed kids in America. Featured 3 of my daughters in there too. 2 really. One was too young to be featured. She couldn't sign the release. And then my other documentary that I'm known for is called We Need to Talk About Cosby, which is a documentary about the cultural impact, life, and crimes of Bill Cosby. Yeah, that still has a lot of people in their feelings, has me in my feelings. But, it's 4 parts, very nuanced, and I'm proud of it. We won a Peabody for it. Not that I'm in this for the awards, but at least made me feel like my peers respected it. But yeah, sometimes people ask me with all my work, because I sort of have intense conversations like, Kamau, you do all these things. Is it hard to do what you do? Is it hard? And wherever I start to go, yeah, whenever I start to think to say, yes, it's hard, the ghost of Harriet Tubman shows up like, wait, what? What were you saying? It's hard to direct documentaries and host TV shows? Is that what you're saying? It's hard. I'm like, no, Harriet, it's easy. It's easy. It's not that it's not challenging to do what I do, but it's important to keep perspective in these times where this country and our leadership has lost all perspective. So where else might you know me from? Often I'm on Instagram writing "ha-ha" on the faces of my enemies. Like, that's a thing I do in big red letters. Again, this came from Substack. Some of you probably joined me from Substack, my newsletter, Who's With Me. It comes out once a week. You can subscribe for free or throw me a few dollars, whatever you want to do. And this podcast is a result of the Substack being so successful that I thought I wanted to have a bigger version of the Substack. So just to be clear, in this time where show business and America is turning against DEI, this is me investing in my own career. I'm partnered up with Malcolm Gladwell's Pushkin, and I'm partnered up with Rabbergrin is doing the production. And today I'm at MK Labs here in San Diego, and Christian's over here. And so you look like you're like a brown brother, right? Half brown. Hey, mixed. I got mixed kids, so I will claim you. So yeah, so it's like this is me investing in myself and trying to bet on myself because the industry's not betting on people like me anymore. So this is important to me. You know what? That's enough. Let's just get to the podcast.